Longtime West Bloomfield board member Howard Rosenberg has officially retired and stepped down from his position, paving the way for a fresh new face to take his place. And that new face, however, is very familiar to the people of West Bloomfield, being longtime Parks Commissioner and member of the West Bloomfield Diversity Task Force, Vincent Kirkwood, who now joins us live on The Splash. Thank you for being here, Mr. Kirkwood.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Good to be back.
First and foremost, we want to say congratulations to you on being elected part of the West Bloomfield Township Trustee Board. Your reactions to that, first and foremost.
You know what? I'm really excited about the opportunity. I'm really grateful, thankful for all the work that Howard Rosenberg put in and paved the way for me to be in this position. Prior to me running, I spoke to Howard, who had been on the trustee board for, I believe it was 16 years, and he was kind of telling me things that I needed to know, and other members of the board as well were supportive in me running, and I just think it was the right time for a new perspective on the board, and here we are.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
No, timing is everything too. It has to be the perfect time for stuff, and obviously it was for that to make that transition. So I understand that. Now let's talk about your experience from Parks and Recs Commissioner and the West Bloomfield Diversity Task Force. How do you feel like that experience together has helped you prepare for your new role as West Bloomfield Township Trustee?
That's a great question. I think the best way to explain it is that being on the West Bloomfield Parks and Rec Board, as well as the founder and chairman of the Diversity Task Force, it has provided me, both opportunities have provided me with a strong foundation in public service, community engagement, governance, and inclusive governance. Serving on the Parks and Rec Commission allowed me to understand the importance of the residents and public spaces and fostering community relationships, healthy lifestyles, environmental stewardship. All of those things helped me get to this point doing on the Parks and Rec Board. As it relates to the Diversity Task Force, I was involved in deep initiatives that fostered inclusivity, that made sure that all voices were heard, regardless of, backgrounds and regardless of race and culture and ethnicity. Both of those roles have taught me how to approach complex issues. And I know that there'll be some complex issues, but I'll be able to work collaboratively with the rest of the board as well as the residents of West Bloomfield.
Good point, too, because I tell you, I don't care if you're in school, you're at work, whatever. You're going to have to work with different people, different ideologies, cultures, races, religions. So you might as well know how to do that in general for the better progression of the community. I understand and respect that. You growing up with a large family, from my understanding, and hardworking parents as well, what type of lessons shaped your approach to the type of leadership and service that you provide?
Yes, I did grow up in a large family. There was 8. I had 7 brothers and sisters, so there was 8 of us all together in the one house. So the things that I've learned with that situation is, I would say, cooperation, patience, and empathy. With so many personalities under one roof, we kind of had to work together to support each other. I had to support my sisters and my brothers. And my brother had to watch me while mom went to work, and I had to watch my younger siblings. We shared resources. We found solutions to problem solve as a team. And although we were, 16, 15, and 12, 11, 10, 9, we worked together to find those solutions and share the resources. Like, one of us couldn't get all of the Fruit Loops. We had to share the Fruit Loops, So my parents instilled in me hard work. They instilled in all of us hard work, a strong work ethic. They taught me that service begins with others. So you should always treat others with respect and with kindness, and the others should come first. So, we were taught that growing up as a kid, whether it was helping out our sibling with the task, homework, cleaning up a chore, whatever it was. I learned leadership that way, and it has brought me to this point in my life, which I'm grateful for.
Perfect, perfect. And like you said, it taught you sharing, being patient, that type, dealing with different personalities, all different types of things. Like we said before, it's going to help you deal with different people's different personalities and making sure everyone's voice is heard too. With us right here live on The Splash, the newly elected West Bloomfield Township Trustee, Vincent Kirkwood, talking about his new position, his plans, and experiences, by the way. With that being said, what are your top priorities for building a stronger, safer, and more inclusive West Bloomfield Township?
You know, I've gotten really close with public safety, and I think that's really important, especially in the day that we live in. Our police and our fire departments. I want to make sure that they have the resources and the training that they need to serve our community properly, to understand that our community is not just one demographic, but it's a group. We have from here to here. So the bar is set
Right.
For what we have in the township, and I want to make sure that our fire and our police understand that. And I think that they do. I think they've done a great job looking at it from outside of the seat that I serve in now. I think it's been great, but I want to continue to foster positive relationships between, our law enforcement and our residents.
Good point.
So public safety, that's one. Number two would be community engagement. Increasing opportunities for residents to engage with local government, share their concerns with me. I always share my information, my email, my phone number, because I believe that every resident should be heard and should be valued as we on the board make decisions. I think it doesn't work unless we hear from the residents of West Bloomfield. And then lastly, of course, I wouldn't be who I am without saying inclusivity and diversity. Continuing the work that we started on the diversity task force, implementing policies and programs that celebrate and support the diverse makeup of our community, of our township, making sure that all residents, regardless of their background or identity, I want them to feel welcome, I want them to be respected, and I want them to feel safe. And I think those are the top three. I've got more, but those are the top three things that I think that I want to bring to this seat in the township.
Yeah, and I like that you have more too, and I like that you elaborated on those, by the way, too, Mr. Kirkwood. But ultimately, it's just giving you the chance to explain that, give that perspective to our residents and to our audience as well. I know we're pressed for time; don't want to hold you up. Very important question, though. How do you plan to engage residents and ensure transparency as you work to address all the issues in West Bloomfield Township: infrastructure, safety, equity, and more?
So, I want to be creative. So I'm gonna hold some maybe coffees with Vincent for residents. We have the regular town hall meetings or the township meetings twice a month. We're still gonna have those, and residents are more than welcome to join those. But aside from that, I kind of want to do something separate that engages the community. I want to increase transparency. Providing regular updates on township. We have it on the board or on the website, what we talked about in the meeting, but I want to increase that. I want to engage social media a little bit more, because we know we don't want it to be just one type of demographic in West Bloomfield, whether it be old or young. We want it to be a mix, and that's what we're seeing that this community is turning into, is a mixture of seniors, young people, people with children. So I think that is one of the things I want to do. And then I think our decision making needs to be data driven. I think we need to utilize data to identify areas that need improvement, especially around like public safety and infrastructure, and ensuring that the residents have that data and it's in an understandable format for them to digest and look at as well. So those are my goals and things I want to do to continue to build transparency within West Bloomfield Township.
Yeah, it's important not only to have data, make sure data is accessible, information is accessible, make sure it's easy to digest and consume for the average resident also. Great points you made. And we appreciate your time again, Mr. Kirkwood. We know you have a lot to do and you're very busy, but we appreciate you taking time to be here. Once again, the newly elected West Bloomfield Township Trustee, Mr. Vincent Kirkwood. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Take care.